2022 was the year that EVs started to go mainstream, 2023 and 24 promised to take battery-powered cars supernova. There's just so much cool stuff in the pipeline, and I can hardly believe it. There are dozens and dozens of models coming to the market, including cars, trucks, and SUVs. Lots and lots of SUVs. I'm here to focus on 10 of the coolest, most interesting, and most important models coming soon to a charging station near you. Oh, and while you're at it, go ahead and head over to Edmunds.com for all your car shopping needs. I'm feeling a bit fancy today, so let's start with something super posh. This imposing and luxurious thing is the Cadillac Celestiq. Caddy sees the move to electric as a chance to reclaim its position among the finest luxury car companies in the world. Yes, it hasn't been that for a long time, but the Celestiq is a hand-built $300,000+ statement of intent. Cadillac's coming for you, y'all. And yes, I said 300,000 plus. Every Celestiq will be commissioned, built to order with the help of a dedicated concierge. No two will be alike. This is Caddy's Rolls-Royce Fighter. It's going to come standard with a 2-motor electric drivetrain, good for around 600 horsepower, enough to push this huge sled to 60 in under 4 seconds. Estimated driving range is 300 miles before you have to send it off to your butler to charge. Go on, Jeeves, go on. Of course, this Caddy should ride and handle well with its standard air suspension and 4-wheel steering. But it's really all about that cabin. I'm talking a full-width 55-inch screen. 55! A 38-speaker 3D audio system, hands-free assisted driving tech, and whatever paint and leather color you want. I wanted to place an order, but GM says I can't get one until December 2023 at the earliest. So I'm gonna stick with my Corolla. Here's a family-size SUV with a familiar name from Chevrolet, the Equinox EV. That's right, the Equinox is going electric. It'll be out in fall of 2023 and is powered by similar next-gen batteries from the Hummer EV. So it's a big deal. You can order an Equinox EV with a standard battery size and front-wheel drive, or a larger extended range battery in the same thing, or all-wheel drive. I like that you've got options and that the Equinox EV offers more space inside than the compact Bolt EUV. I also like the snazzy interior and available 17-inch touchscreen. Oh, and the exterior styling too. Yeah, I like that. This is just a neat looking EV and I can't wait to drive it. Remember the original 500e, that cute city EV? It was so unprofitable, the company's CEO actually urged customers not to buy one. Isn't that crazy? Apparently, the balance sheet has changed because it's coming on back. Fortunately, this all-new model is just as adorable as before. This little guy will go on sale in early 2024. We don't have US specs just yet, but European models are rated at between 150 and 200 miles of range. A high-performance Abarth model is in the works too, but it's not clear if it'll make it to our shores. With all the hubbub around the Rivian R1T and Ford's F-150 Lightning, GM is hoping to ride America's growing electric truck wave with battery-powered versions of its own iconic pickups. Available in everything from a basic contractor spec Chevy work truck model to a high-end GMC Denali, these full-size rigs are expected in late 2023 and early 2024. You'll be able to get around 400 miles of range and option up to crazy amounts of power, over 750 horses. That's a lot. In contrast to Ford's Lightning, GM decided to make both the Silverado and Sierra EVs more distinct from their gas-powered counterparts in both looks and features. Whether truck buyers will like this strategy is unclear, but features like the unique fold-down midgate for big cargo is pretty neat, and we already love GM's Super Cruise Drive Assist tech. So there's that. Hyundai's first dedicated EV, the Ioniq 5, came out of the gates guns a-blazing, winning us over with its style, performance, and fast charging tech. This time out, Hyundai's getting a little weird on us with the Ioniq 6 sedan. It's a funky, super aerodynamic rival to the Tesla Model 3. It's based on the same tech and platform as the Ioniq 5. Our first drive in Korea suggests that even if you don't love the way this beetle-shaped 6 looks, there are plenty of reasons to consider it. Hyundai says top all-wheel drive versions will get 320 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time in under 5 seconds, which is pretty quick. Range is up to 340 miles and a new navigation system will guide you to nearby charging stations, skipping the ones that are broken. What a relief. You can look for it in dealers this spring. Jeep is getting ready to bring its take on pure electric fun to the great outdoors soon with this Recon EV. This mid-size SUV should be about the size of today's Grand Cherokee when it arrives in 2024. Jeep promises it'll have real off-road chops too, complete with knobby tires, underbody protection, and sophisticated traction management tech. Plus, it'll be available with a power top as well as removable doors and glass, just like a Wrangler. Recon will be the first of 2 Jeep EVs, the other one being codenamed Wagoneer S. The plan is for 50% of Jeep sales to be EVs by 2030. If Volvo's upscale Polestar division somehow isn't on your radar yet, well, you might want to sit up and pay attention because this new Polestar 3 electric SUV looks hot. And since it starts at about $85,000, it probably should. The 3 comes standard with 2 motors and all-wheel drive. Available with over 500 horsepower, it should really move too. Plus, Polestar is promising 300 miles of range. And since it's part of the greater Volvo family, we're also expecting top safety tech and a high-quality Swedish minimalist interior with generous room for 5. Now, you didn't think we could get through a list without Tesla, did you? No chance. So, what are we expecting from Team Elon in 2023 and 24? Pretty much the same thing we've been promised for the last few years. The Cybertruck, the Roadster, and the semi-truck. We're told that the first new model to make it onto streets will be the Semi, with plans of around 100 of these sharp-looking rigs to be built before the end of this year. Unfortunately, given the road to production has been paved with broken promises and missed deadlines, I'll believe it when I see one of these pass me on the freeway, okay? More importantly for you, dear consumer, is the Cybertruck. That's the doorstop-looking sci-fi pickup. The striking body truck with shatterproof...
Oh my God. Well...
shatter-resistant glass was first shown in 2019 and was supposed to be on sale at the end of 2021. Now it's looking more like 2023, if not the year after. And we have even less to go on in terms of performance targets than we did back when it debuted. The pricing, range, and performance estimates that used to be on Tesla's reservation site are gone. Gone. All right, I'm guessing you might not have heard of Vinfast, which is coming to America in 2023 with its 2-row VF8 SUV and this 3-row VF9. It's tempting to think that Vietnam's Vinfast as a startup, but it already sells tons of cars in Vietnam, along with electric scooters, buses, and all kinds of stuff. Vinfast's parent company, Vingroup, owns everything from hotels and amusement parks to hospitals, cybersecurity, and AI companies, even a university. In other words, they've got pretty deep pockets, enough to not end up as vaporware. Now, as for this VF9 SUV, it's targeting up to around 350 miles of range and will be available with over 400 horsepower. Acceleration to 60 is estimated at just over 6 seconds. Pretty solid stuff. They're promising cutting-edge infotainment, including games and e-commerce apps. And importantly, for an unknown company, the VF9 comes with a 10-year, 125,000-mile warranty. That might be the best one out there. The handsome SUV starts at around $58,000, but there's a catch. Batteries are not included. No, I'm serious. They're not included. Vinfast is pioneering a battery subscription program to keep costs down and to curb buyer fears of expensive replacement batteries down the road. A subscription runs a couple $100 a month, or you can buy a VF9 with a battery, but it's gonna cost you upwards of 76 grand. Ouch, that ain't exactly a fire sale. Now, if you want something cheaper, smaller VF6 and 7 models are promised for sometime in 2024. Finally, let's talk 2024 Volvo EX90. No, I didn't say XC90, though the two models are about the same size. This is Volvo's brand new top-shelf electric flagship. It takes Volvo's Scandinavian aesthetic to the next level. It's super sleek, especially for a 3-row SUV, but it still has a sense of humor. The headlights wink. They wink, y'all. I love it. The EX90 gets a 2-motor all-wheel drive powertrain, good for nearly 500 horses. The battery pack is big, enabling up to 300 miles between charge-ups. Inside, there's next-gen infotainment with a bigger 14-inch screen. Unfortunately, that famous Swedish minimalist vibe also means there's almost no buttons or dials for things like climate or audio controls, which is going to be annoying. This is a Volvo, so it shouldn't be surprising that the EX90's got next-level safety gear and driving assist. See that pod on the roof? That's LiDAR, laser radar, just like what Google's self-driving bubble cars use. Pricing for this South Carolina-built SUV should come in under $80K for starters when it arrives in early 2024. You've been so good. I think you've earned a special bonus car or van. This is the VolksWagon ID.Buzz, and it's 3 rows of family fun. Remember those old hippie buses? The one I swore I'd be riding in when I moved to Cali? This is like that, but all electric and way safer. Less flower power, more electric power. This 7-seat EV arrives in 2024 in a host of fun colors and upholsteries. We don't yet have US specs, but European models travel upward of 250 miles on a charge and can juice up from 5 to 80% in 30 minutes on a high-speed charger. Now, this won't be a high-speed thing like the Tesla Model X. With only around 200 horsepower, VW is targeting a 0 to 60 time of around 10 seconds. This is a family van, okay? It ain't Gran Turismo. The ID.Buzz borrows a lot of its electric guts from the ID.4 SUV. That should be fine, but we're less excited about the fact that it also borrows a lot of that model's cabin tech and switchgear. It's slow, annoying, and easy to activate by accident. Pricing for the ID.Buzz hasn't been announced, but we've been told to expect around 55 grand before any tax incentives. Retro ride, modern price. So that's it. 11 of the coolest, most interesting and exciting EVs that will be available before you know it. In fact, given the chip shortage and cars being in short supply lately, if you're interested in one of these sweet rides, I suggest you get to a showroom and put down a deposit. Now go on, get it.